How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's day's been going well as we await the COVID results and the latest update on this Reds 2020 season and when it will resume. Now, it's very likely by the time this video comes out, there may have been an update for the series, as it is still at this time a series that's supposed to start tonight. We'll see if they get postponed. We'll see if they get pushed back. But for now, we're waiting to see if that is the case. And for now, we're going to reflect. We're going to reflect while we have some time to think about it on some potential lineup changes for this Cincinnati Reds team. We're talking batting order here, and we're talking Joey Votto batting leadoff, a position, I'll be honest, I've been anti Joey Votto leadoff for as long as I can remember here. I've always thought this guy belongs in a 2, 3, 4, whatever spot, somewhere in the order to drive in runs, but I'm ready for it now. I really am ready for it, and for a couple reasons. First of all, if it's between 1 and 3, which, you know, we've seen him more often with the way Castellanos is batting, I want to see him at 1 rather than 3, because I want to see this guy in front of Castellanos. I want to see him in front of all these big hitters. I want to see him in front of in front of Castellanos, in front of Moose, in front of Winker at the moment, who's hitting well. Suarez eventually will bounce back. I want to see him in front of him. All these guys. Not to mention Votto, who started the season off great, and in all accounts is still not doing too bad. I think he's got 8 strikeouts on the season still, which is a good number to look at there. But he's batting 214 with runners in scoring position. 214 runners in scoring position. I don't think you want that guy batting third right now, especially for this one particular reason. We've talked about it. Might have been on Twitter. We talked about it. We talked about Votto's plate approach, right? This is a guy that crowds the plate, and the way teams pitch him is they jam him inside, and they force him to pull the ball to the right side of the field, and they just put a massive shift on him, and it kills him. It kills him because of the way they pitch to him. And I feel like it's something he needs to change. And if he were to change it, this guy could be elite Joey Votto again, batting 300, driving in 100 runs. Because back in the day, remember back in the day, this guy would pull the ball opposite. When he was at his best, was pulling the ball opposite. I'm saying pulling the ball opposite field. That is the oxymoron of oxymorons. But he was hitting the ball to opposite field. He was hitting opposite field home runs. It was a guy where you couldn't put this shift on him. But now, the way he's approaching the plate, and it's a big thing to say he's going to change his plate approach and take a step back. But now, because of the way he crowds that plate, you jam him inside in that strike zone. It's a strike, he takes it, or he swings at it, and you're forcing him to pull that ball to the right side. I feel like that's something it's going to continue to hurt him because of the way they can play him in the field, unless he changes something, which is going to hurt his runners in scoring position average. It's going to hurt his batting average. And I just don't know if he's ever going to do it. It's a debate for another day. I'm not Joey Votto. I'm not a baseball player. I could be completely out of my mind thinking that is the reason Joey Votto hasn't had as much success at the plate as far as a batting average is concerned. But you have to think it's got something to do with it when you got to be able to get in on a guy's hands. Because how are you going to pull? It's very, very, very difficult to pull that ball to the other side of the field when that ball's cramped in there on your hands every single time. But nonetheless, all that aside, I think finally the Reds just don't have a leadoff hitter right now. Shogo is hopefully eventually gonna be that guy. But right now, he's batting 231. He does have, I will give him credit here, something the Reds, have been lacking from the leadoff spot is a guy with a little bit of an on-base percentage. He is at 327, which is solid. But I think he's a guy that he just needs to figure things out. Maybe a few weeks, batting 6th or 7th, whatever it is. Even if he does bat there, that's even better for Votto. Because if Tucker Barnhart can start hitting a dang baseball, we have, and I think he can. Love the guy. I think he's got the potential there. If not, they got plenty of catchers in his system that can do it. Even Casali, or if it's Stevenson. I know, can we say his name around here? I don't know if the Reds are starting Cologne, but they're afraid to put Stevenson in there. But, you look at that, and it's just more guys that can get on base, because there's a DH in front of Votto who bats leadoff, and he's still going to get them chances to drive runs in. And besides that, typically you want the fastest guy who can get on base a lot up there, right? Which is, again, is why you can see Shogo being an ideal spot there. But at the end of the day, Shogo's 32. He ain't going to steal the bases he did 3 or 4 years ago. He's got, 1 stolen base this year. So I don't really think you look and say, okay, we have to have a speed guy at the number 1 spot, because we don't really have that speed guy for the number 1 spot, which leaves you back to your other most ideal characteristic for a leadoff hitter, which is a guy that gets on base a lot, which is Joey Votto, which still, even when he's, struggling to get hits, gets on base at an immense clip. 378 on base percentage this season, best on the team. You want to get this guy on base as much as possible. Again, mentioning it in front of Nick, a guy that's a doubles machine, in front of Moose, in front of, when everybody's healthy, Suarez, Winker, all these guys. I want to see Joey Votto on base in front of all these guys. That is going to maximize the Reds' scoring chances when he's in front of every single one of these guys in the order. And again, if you want to put Nick at 2, okay. Let's get Votto at number 1 though, and try to get him over and try to get him on and then get him over, get him in with the other guys on this team. That's our thoughts on that. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.